Chapter 8, Communications. Hi everybody, my name is Florence Bacha and today we're going to be going over that chapter on communications. Alright, we're going to move forward to the next slide, which is about the communications process. What is communication? Communication has its roots from the Latin word communicare, meaning to share or make common. Essentially, it is the process of transmitting information between other people and create a shared understanding and feeling. Slide 3. Parts of communications are encoding the message, channel, decoding, feedback, and noise. Encoding is when a sender converts a thought, idea, or fact into a message. The message is the encoded message that is being sent. The channel is the medium used to send the message either by voice, writing, graphs, videos, internet, television, and body language. Decoding, interpretation or translation of a message. Feedback checks on the success of communication. Noise, anything that blocks, distorts, changes in any way the message the sender intended to communicate. Slide 4. Nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication are communications that are not spoken or written but have a meaning to others. Some of the strongest and most meaningful nonverbal communications are fire alarms, traffic lights, expressions, and of course, a smile. Slide 5. Body language versus verbal intonation. Body language is a nonverbal communication and is shown by any body movements such as a gesture or expression. Nonverbal communication, researcher Albert Marhabian states, based on his research, that the conveyance of messages in face-to-face communications are 7% by words, 38% by vocal intonations, and 55% by facial and body expression. Verbal intonation, emphasis given to spoken words and phrases. Pay attention to the tone as it may be interpreted in a different manner. Slide 6. One-way versus two-way communication. One-way communication, information flows solely in one direction. Two-way communication occurs when the receiver provides feedback and the exchange of information between the two occurs. Task interdependence. When one unit depends on another to get the work done, the communications needs to increase. There are 3 types of interdependence: pooled, sequential, and reciprocal. Pooled, employees work independently and their output is combined into output of the group. Sequential, similar to an assembly line, requires tasks to be performed in a certain order. Reciprocal requires constant communication and mutual adjustment for task completion, such as a cross-functional research, development team, and event planning team. Slide 8. Barriers to effective communication. Selective perception, misperception, filtering, information overload, organizational barriers, cultural barriers, and noise. Selective perception is what people prefer to see and hear based on their own biases. Misperception, messages not decoded by the receiver in the way it was intended to. Filtering, information is intentionally withheld, ignored, distorted to influence the message that is ultimately received. Information overload, too much information to process at once. Organizational barriers, a firm's structure and culture can influence who is allowed to communicate what to whom and limit the message. Cultural barriers. Cultures have different ways to express things. Low context cultures rely mostly on words to convey meaning, like in the US. High context cultures, situational and nonverbal cues are used to convey meaning. These are going to be in Asian cultures and Arabic cultures. Noise are things that blocks, distorts, changes the message, and creates a barrier. Slide 9. Examples of common sources of noise: physical barriers, loss of transmission, competition from other forms of communication, ambiguity of meaning. Physical barriers, interruptions, sounds of engines or machinery, dim computer screens, small fonts, or receiver's headache are examples of that. When for loss of transmission is the phone not working, internet connection goes down, video conference link is dropped. Competition from other forms of communication is like checking your cell phone, chit chatting, doing anything beside what you're supposed to be doing. Ambiguity of meaning occurs when the receiver does not understand the message, like the use of jargon. The jargon is also known as technical language. So you definitely want to consider your audience to avoid ambiguity when using these terms. So such that doctors cannot speak technical medical term to somebody that it does not have that background because they'll be completely lost. Semantics, words that means different things to different people. Slide 10, communication skills. This portion is composed on different skills that are important when it comes to communicating effectively. Listening skills are hearing versus active listening. Hearing is passive, and active listening is being actively involved in the process of understanding the sender's meaning. Writing skills make sure that the written information is professional and direct. Presentation, important to polish up presentation skills for proposals, etc. Meeting requires skills in an organization, eliciting input from participants, and conflict management. Slide 11. Communication media, composed of the internet, collaboration software, intranets, oral communication, and media richness. The internet allows for information pull, which is finding information needed. Allows also for information push, which is receiving unsolicited information. Email help managers prioritize incoming information and transmit written communication. Voicemail, similar to email but instead is spoken. Instant messaging enables to send messages that can be seen and recorded and responded in real time by other logged on that system. Video conferencing allows for parties involved to see and hear each other and is quite effective. Slide 13. Telework is considered in a location other than a central office or production facility, with communication between coworkers and supervisors occurring via electronic communication systems. Home-based telecommuting includes people who work at home for some period on a regular basis. Satellite offices situated to become more convenient for employees and customers. Neighborhood work centers provide office space for more than one in order to save commute to central locations. Mobile work that can be done away from a workplace by using technology that allows communication to the home office. Slide 14. Collaboration software. Collaborative software or groupware enhances the collaborative abilities of group or team members by providing electronic meeting site. Essentially integrates projects to be worked on simultaneously by different users. Collaborative writing systems allows to work on written documents simultaneously. Group scheduling systems allows to input daily schedules into a common scheduling database. Workflow automation systems speeds and facilitate work processes. Decision support systems, interactive computer-based systems that help the decision-making teams find solutions to unstructured problems. Slide 15. Intranet. Intranet centralized information clearinghouse that is essentially a website that is only accessible to company computers by means of internal network. Portals are more project-focused intranets. Webcasts live or previously recorded video segments that are broadcast over the company's internet. Wikis, searchable and editable websites that allow people to comment and edit one on another's work in real time. Blogs, individual chronicles of personal thought and interest. Slide 16. Oral communication. Important when having conversations that are more sensitive than other electronic communication methods. Allows to build credibility and trust. Slide 17. Media richness. Media's ability to carry nonverbal cues, provide rapid feedback, convey personality traits, support the use of natural language. It depends on interactivity, availability of feedback. Immediate feedback allows for adjustment of message. Transmissions of multiple cues, physical presence, voice inflection, nonverbal cues, and pictures. Language variety, conveying broad set of concepts in a richer manner. Personal focus is a degree in which it allows the expression of emotion and other social cues. Slide 18. Organizational communication. Organizational communication is the exchange of information among two or more individuals or groups in an organization that creates a common basis of understanding and feeling. Organizational communication encompasses downward communication, upward communication, horizontal communication, diagonal communication, formal and informal communication, and social networking. Slide 19. Downward communication. Downward communication occurs when higher level employees communicate to those at lower levels of the organization. Management by wandering around. Face-to-face management technique in which managers get out of their offices and spend time talking informally to employees throughout the organization. Most common as upper level employees communicate to their subordinates in regards to the processes of the job. Slide 20. Upward communication. Upward communication occurs when lower level employees communicate with those at higher levels. Employees are mostly afraid of communicating their concerns and tend to forego negative feedback. Using an appropriate, accessible, and creative aspect allows for more trustworthy bond between them. Horizontal communication. Horizontal communication occurs when someone in an organization communicates with others at the same organizational level. Can be facilitated by creating interdepartmental committees or task force to solve any problems. Slide 22. Diagonal communication. Diagonal communication occurs when employees communicate across different departments. Common in cross-functional team projects. Helps to link groups across different parts of the organization. Can be inappropriate as management might be excluded. Slide 23. Formal and informal communication. Formal communications are official, organizational sanctioned communication. Can be either upward, downward, horizontal, or diagonal. Generally written to have a permanent record of the message being communicated. Informal communications, anything that is not official. Can include gossip arising from the grapevine. Analyze the credibility of things being said before making any decision or conclusions. Slide 24. Social networking. Social network is a set of the relationship among people connected through friendship, family, work, or other ties. Consists of both formal and informal ties. Formal ties, relationship with coworkers, bosses, or others we know because of the roles we hold. Informal ties, relationship based on friendships and choice. Can either be open or close connected. Open, connected to many others. Close, connect to very others. So a tight-knit group. Slide 25. The discussion question. This is what I've got for you. Out of the different communication paths reviewed in this chapter, which do you think is most important and why? Thank you for watching.